They don't really know where the hone-in opportunities are to change their trajectory and put them on the path towards where they want to go.
Yep. I'm just trying to make sure that we're on track for timing here. Yeah, conceptual agreement again. This one is, again, making sure we're having the right conversation, that we are not prematurely discussing. This is where I see people having challenges with, and this is why we're building some new templates and language in some of the messaging. Do not talk about fees, deliverables, what the programs are, what your project is, until you've had the right conversation. The conceptual agreement should be like, hey, what are we trying to accomplish? How do we want to measure that? What's the value we're trying to create? And by having a good sort of conceptual agreement, so that you would say something like, let me just make sure I understand your story correct. It sounds like you guys are trying to solve this, this, and this. And if we can find a way to do it by this much, that's worth this to solve. Okay, cool. Focus on what they're doing and not what you're offering. And in that, we want to make sure that we are showing that we respect their time, that you can articulate their situation and get them again to go, I wasn't thinking about my business the same way. And you think about my business in an interesting way. I want to spend more time with you. It's not necessarily they need to buy from you, but they want to know more because you're helping them connect dots in ways that they haven't. That's something Kendall's really good at, is sitting back, asking, thinking about their business and then asking those really good questions.
Wow. I got a compliment. I gave you a compliment. This is so nice.
Oh, this is very Christmas. I love it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. And I've been on calls where people have asked, what's your fee? And wasn't ready to quote it yet because we didn't know enough. Just we'll get there, but I have a few more questions. And I think that sort of word track as well shows that you're more interested in knowing about what's happening in their business and what their goals are. Versus saying, oh yeah, our feed is here. Do you want to sign up? So try that and some of the stuff that you're doing.
Absolutely. You know what's funny? I did a session for an entrepreneur organization, a bunch of executives, and one of the things, because I'm very, very sneaky with my presentations when I know that there might be people who want services. So I said, one of the things that drives me crazy is people ask how much I charge, and my answer is anywhere from like $0 to $1 million. It really depends. Again, in the absence of price, in the absence of all the other things, price matters. I said zero to $1 million. So until we actually know what we're trying to do here, let's not talk price. And at the end of the thing, one of the guys asked, he's like, so how much do you charge? He's like, I'm just kidding. I know it's like somewhere before $1 million. Just setting that tone of like, let's have the right conversation, because if you get caught in a, question and answer, if you get caught in a transactional type of a discussion too early, then you're not going to be able to show your value. Right. For me, it's really making sure, like, I've had people say, well, how much does it cost? I'm like, I don't know, let's say 150 grand. Just grab your credit card and we'll get that sorted right now. And they go, whoa. I'm like, oh, it sounds like we got more to talk about. Okay, let's get that off the table. Right. You can make it so that it makes them go, yeah, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be asking that question. And that means we shouldn't be having that conversation.
Yeah. And when you think about any sort of premium experience that you've had, it's tailored to you. It's tailored to to certain tastes. And so thinking through what word tracks you can use within your conversations that give that feeling that it's very tailored to them. And there are certain things that you want to know before there's any discussion about fee or project, because it's important.
Absolutely. Just go through this list here with you guys. I'll just pull it up on the screen. And you know what? How about this? Kendall's going to go through it because that's fun for me to put her on the spot.
That's great. Yeah, and I just want to continue to reinforce that if you have any big questions or things that you're wanting to hopefully walk away from, please put them in the chat. That's how we can really tailor what we're talking about for you guys. So gaining commitment. One, humans need help making decisions. I think framing the discussion, oftentimes you're having a conversation with someone and all they're seeing is problems. And the more that you can take on that shepherd approach, that I have been here where you are at, I have successfully guided people to the promised land. You can help guide their decisions and create a sense of calm. I'm not going to read all of them because you guys can also read yourselves. I think the use of a reload question, thanks. No, something that leads to another question. And I don't know if this is what Joe intended on number 4, but
I should have put on the spot because I put some new stuff in there before you sat.
It's always great.
I can see how funny it is with me, right?
It is. Oh my God, don't prejudge. That is huge, and it's something that I'm working on as well. I think oftentimes the business owner or the client is coming to these calls with prejudgment too. They're thinking that anything related to succession planning, business advisory, exit planning, transition planning is all about retirement planning and exit planning. And so if you can come to those calls prepared to say, you know what, you may think it's just about